So I will call this calculating standard deviation by hand. Okay? The mean, the formula for the mean is this. I don't know if you recall that. Sigma x divided by n. The standard deviation which is lowercase sigma, is different. So this is going to be a little different, okay? So watch how this goes. Standard deviation finds the average distance from all the points to the mean, okay? So it's going to be like this. Every single point, you're going to subtract the mean from it. You're going to take every point, take the mean away. How far are you from mean? Right? Every single one. We're gonna square our answers to get rid of any negatives. Okay? Then you're gonna add up all your results. You're gonna divide it by the number of items that a number of data points that you have considered. And because we squared everything, we have to square root it at the end of the day. Scary, isn't it? It looks scary. It's not as bad as it looks. Okay, so have these formulas on your study sheet, and so here's the example. So James had the following test scores. Let's say 65%, 70%. So let's just consider 5. For you to be able to use, look up here real quick, for you to be able to use the standard deviation formula, you need to figure out the mean first, the average. So let's do that first. So the mean score would be sum of all values divided by n. Sum of all values we're about to figure out, n is 5 scores. Okay? So n is just 5 tests that we're considering. I don't need you to show me that you're adding these individually. I can just, I'm just going to ask you to do this on your calculator, but to show me the sum. Okay? So it's 377. So we go 377 divided by 5. That's 75.4. Do not round. Okay? So on average, it's 75.4% is the mean. Okay? All right. So here's where you can get creative on how you want to do the next part. I will show you how I do it, but some students make a table after a while. So what I will do is this. I will figure out this part. I will figure out, let me show you before you continue here. I'll figure out the top part here of this formula. Oh, I made a mistake. Okay, this is x bar squared. So what does this mean? I will go 65, so the x value here that I'm considering, I'm going to go minus 75.4. So I'm going to subtract the mean, square it. Then I'm going to add, can we stop talking for now? Thank you. The next one is 70, right? So 70 minus the average, which is 75.4. So this is going to be very repetitive after a while. Okay, so first value minus the average. Second value minus the average, and always square. The main reason we square is that we don't have any negatives. Okay, you keep doing this for every single value. So 72 minus 75.4. Square that. Plus 80 minus 75.4. Square that. I was a bit too ambitious, but it doesn't matter. You just continue down here. 90 minus 75.4. Square that. So if you had 100 values, you would have to do this 100 times. I won't do that to you, okay? That's when you would use a spreadsheet, Excel spreadsheet, or you would use your calculator as we have it here. So I will encourage you to, if I want you to do this by hand, use brackets, by the way. You go 65 minus 75.4, and just square that individually like that. So you go 108.16. Plus, we'll do the next one. If you do this right, watch what I do. I go copy paste the previous one, and I will just replace, instead of 65, I'll type in 70 here and hit equals. So that's 29.16. Plus, keep going, copy paste, changes to 72, equals 1156. Plus, I have to do this one now. So it's 80 minus 75.4 squared, 2116. And one more, 90. So I got to copy 90. 213.16. And so another thing you need to observe is which one is the biggest number here? The 213, right? So your 90% score is going to affect you quite a bit. Like, it's going to show that your data is all of a sudden, that data point is like quite a bit away from the mean, right? The most distance, the furthest away is the 90 from your mean. So you should observe that, right? Last step is to add all of this up. I use my calculator for that. I just go copy paste. So I'll paste this one, enter, plus, go up 2, enter, plus, go up 3. Plus, I'll go way up to the 108. So I just copy paste, right? That's the best way to do this. And then you get 383.2. So this expression here results in this, as these are your steps. Then you add up all your results that occurred within each bracket. You get this part right here. So you're almost there now. Okay. So now you're going to be able to actually figure out the standard deviation. You go 383.2 divided by 5 in this case, and then we square root it. You got to divide before you square root, so I will say put brackets around this. So I divide it by 5, then I'm going to go square root it, and it's 8.75%. Now it could be that I'm wrong, okay? It could be that I made a mistake. So how would you verify for sure? Stat, edit. I'm just gonna type these 5 values in there. Okay, so I'm gonna go 65, 70, 72, 80, and 90, right? Type them in. Stat calc, one variable stat, feed it L1. First of all, I check my mean. It does add up to what I had, right? 75.4. And I also check my standard deviation, which is 8.75. So that's a way to verify if you want to make sure you did this right, okay? Which I'm not going to be able to stop you from checking with your calculator. I'm not going to be able to stop you there, but I will expect some sort of trail of your work if you want to get the marks for this type of question where I ask you to do it by hand, okay? So I will actually, on the front page, because this is not part of what I normally do, is standard deviation in the front here, by hand, is on page 10, okay? So if you need a refresher on how to do this by hand, go to the front cover and just say page 10. That's where you should find that information. For sure. Yeah. There. And I would encourage you to grab your study sheet, and we're going to quickly add the formula. I don't know if you need to have a full-on example on your study sheet, then do it, but I will not do it for my study sheet. I will not. I'll just have the formulas and maybe have a bit of a hint as to how to proceed. Okay? I will give you a hint as to how to proceed to do this, but I won't have a full-on example. That's up to you if you want to do that. Are we good? Marie, you're good with the? Yeah. Okay, so if you go to your study sheet, I'm going to turn this into grayscale because you just can't handle. Okay, so to find the mean, you just go, right, this is sum of all values. And this is the number of values. And then standard deviation, the formula is sum of x minus x bar squared divided by n, and then a big square root over top of all of that. Basically make a roof over top of that structure. Okay? By hand, find x bar. Okay, that'll be step number 1. Step number 2 is calculate x minus x bar and then square it for each point. Add up results. Divide by n. Square root. I hope that helps. If you need more detail, that's in your hands, right? But if you wanted to do it by hand, find the mean, go x minus x bar, then square it for each point. Add up your results, divide by n. I don't know, this doesn't look like n to me. Let's make it look like n. And then square root at the end. You've got it. Okay?